And this exact step is a game changer. If you do that well, you cannot fail on Amazon. And this approach generates millions here in Europe, and it's something that is not yet being done properly in the US. So all the products that we have launched in the last 2 years in the US with that strategy, they all had enormous success. Welcome to my channel. If you're interested in learning how to build a successful Amazon business that generates you 10 or 20,000 US dollars in profit every month, and you want to learn a unique approach that actually works nowadays from someone who sells 7 figures on Amazon for over 5 years now, then this video is for you. Amazon has taken off over the last couple of years, and the success story still continues despite the doubt out there. This year alone I started selling 4 new products, and each of them makes more than 20k per month. So whoever tells you that Amazon is dead doesn't know how to do it. That is my experience. But I admit that the start seems to be a little bit difficult. There are so many different steps and methods out there that it's really hard to know where and how to get started. So this video guides you through the exact process to follow in order to move from where you are right now to owning a 6-figure Amazon business. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Chris. I'm the owner of Amazon White Horizon and a 7-figure Amazon seller. If you want to know what Amazon White Horizon is, check it out in the video description. Here on YouTube, I create videos around Amazon FBA, and I try that with as much detail as possible to help you start your own successful Amazon business. So if you're interested in the topic, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and now I would say let's get started with the video. And we're starting out with a preview of what you can expect from this video. At first, we're going to look at different ways to become successful on Amazon, and we are going to look at all important aspects you need to consider for a successful start. After that, we will talk about what all of you guys have to become an expert in, because it's the most important step, and that is how to create an offer, not only a product, but an irresistible offer that stands out and makes you 5 or 6 figures monthly. And then the next chapter shows you how to find the best suppliers for your product ideas and the cheapest way to import your products. And that's actually something what I'm going to tell you that not many sellers use, and it will give you an advantage over them because you either have higher margins or a cheaper sales price, and then you make more sales. Either way, you will win. After that, we will look at PPC. Finally, you will have a video that makes you understand PPC and shows you how to set up your PPC campaigns that teleport you to page 1 in no time. We have a lot of experience with that. In chapter 5, we are going to talk about the only marketing strategy that makes sense nowadays, a strategy that makes your product stand out in the mass of competitors. And in the last chapter, we will look at how we can mass sales and scale our business effectively later on. This video is action-packed and the foundation of your success, so get yourself ready, take some notes along the video, get yourself a coffee, and then get ready for the first day of living the life that you are dreaming of. And let's start right away with topic number 1. Before even opening an Amazon account, you have to figure out which method you want to start selling on Amazon with. If you don't have that much time, in short, I highly recommend selling private label products through Amazon FBA. So if that's all you wanted to know, you can jump to the next chapter. For everyone else, there are 3 main methods to sell on Amazon. And the first one is retail, or also called online arbitrage. This is where you either locally go to a retail store or search online and look for products that are on discount like 50-60%, and you can resell them on Amazon for a profit. The second option is Amazon Wholesale. This involves purchasing branded products in bulk directly from manufacturers or suppliers, allowing you to benefit from wholesale discounts, and then you can sell these products on Amazon for the full retail price. And the third type is selling private label products. This is the most common business model on Amazon, and it is the way I sell as well. And it basically means that you go and find your own manufacturer, create your own brand, you own everything, you own all the intellectual property, and you're creating your own brand, and then you are selling your own products on Amazon. And Amazon private label is by far the best way to sell on Amazon because of the potential it has, and you'll see why that is in this video. So going forward, this is what I'm going to talk about. And there's another differentiation that you have to know about, and that is the difference between Amazon FBM and Amazon FBA. FBM means that the seller is responsible for storing, packing, and shipping the products themselves. And this gives you more control over the process, but also requires more time and resources. On the other hand, there is FBA, and FBA allows sellers to store their products in the Amazon fulfillment centers, and Amazon then takes care of packing, shipping, and customer service as well. And the fact that they take care of all these steps is so valuable and allows you to basically work from anywhere in the world. That's why for me Amazon FBA is so attractive. So my advice is to stick to FBA, create your own products, create your own brand, and it's going to save you so much work and allows you then, because of that, to actually focus on optimizing and growing your business. For me, an easy choice. Now, before we start selling on Amazon, it's essential to take care of a few key tasks. You don't want to have your products ready to go only to find out that you have to wait because you forgot one important step up front. So I thought about how to most effectively teach you that part, and I want to value your time as much as possible. So I thought the most efficient way to give you those infos is by creating a sheet that contains all relevant information. So you can download that document that contains everything that I'm talking about throughout the video for free in the video description down below. Alright, and this is how the sheet looks like. We are starting with the business foundation part, and here in the beginning I have embedded a checklist that makes sure you're not forgetting any important step. For example, when you sell in the US, most Amazon sellers are deciding to get an LLC or a sole proprietorship. So you make sure you understand the difference. I'll also explain that in the document, or when necessary, I'll include a link so you can read more about that. Then all other steps as well are covered here that are necessary to start your Amazon business. For example, you need a business bank account, a seller's permit, the EIN number. Then you need, on gs1.com, you need to get your UPC numbers, brand registry, etc. So this makes sure that you're not forgetting any important aspect. Then I'll also talk about how to create your Amazon seller account. So here you basically find all relevant information when it comes to the business foundation. If you have any questions, then always feel free to ask it down below in the comment section. I'm going to answer every single question. And with that out of the way, let's kick things off with the cornerstone of successful selling, and that is finding your first product. The upcoming part is extremely important, and it teaches you a way to do Amazon FBA that not many people are applying. With this approach, myself and my clients find 5 to 6 figure per month products over and over again. And I want to let you know that this video now, it will teach you product research, but it only scratches the surface. There is so much to learn how to properly develop a product. So if you are serious about creating a 6 to 7 figure Amazon business and want to live a more free and fulfilling life, then you have to consider learning the whole business in and out. And that's exactly what I teach in my program. And in my opinion, it's a no-brainer to learn something properly when it allows me to completely change my life. So the course consists of over 100 hours of video material and teaches you our unique profit launch system that is working again and again and again. So if you want to go down the road of success, you can book a free call with me down below in the video description, and I'll show you how we can guide you to your 6-figure Amazon business. Okay guys, the next part is the real deal. How do we approach product research now that is going to guarantee us success? The upcoming part is incredibly important, so I ask you to take notes because this is a milestone for you to be successful with Amazon. This strategy has proven to be successful over and over again, and when you understand what I'm going to tell you now, you will be better than 95% of the people who are starting out with Amazon FBA right now. So let's start with the basic concept that we need to understand when we are searching for a product. Basically, we are starting obviously with picking a niche to sell in. And the niche that we want to sell in needs to fulfill certain criteria for us to be worth to invest our money in. So we need to understand that first. And in order to understand that, I have a product pyramid here. And we can imagine that down at the bottom of the pyramid, there are still all products available. All products that are good to sell, but also products that are not good to sell. And then as we move up the pyramid, then we will clarify and find out the products that are worth selling or the niches that are worth selling in. So we need to move that up. Okay, so we need to understand that the niche we want to sell in needs enough demand first. Okay, we can check that by looking at the revenue and by looking at the search volume at a niche. This step is pretty simple. Now what I'm talking about, I'll show you later on in a practical example as well, so you can know how to do it and understand it better through the practical example. So first we check, is there enough demand in a niche? We check, is there revenue being made, enough revenue, enough search volume? Then we can already move up. Okay, and then now this is the important part. do we have the chance to get market share? We have to ask ourselves that question. And we can answer that by looking at the following aspects. So first of all, and this is one of the most important aspects, please write that down. Later on, I'll show you a practical example, is we need to make sure there is product depth. I'll also talk more about what that means later on, but basically the products need to vary in different aspects for us to be able to come in and develop a meaningful USP. So I'll show later on 2 examples. One example will be a garlic press. And with a garlic press, they're all more or less the same. They have the same setup, they're from the same material. People just want to buy this product to get the job done. You can't really do anything else. The functionality is always the same. We want to have a niche where the products vary with different functionalities. The products will have a different outcome, different quality, etc. We'll look at that later. So product depth is extremely important when it comes to picking a niche. Because when we sell products that are similar to everything that exists on the market already, we're not going to stand out. We'll have high PPC prices. Other people have cheaper prices because they import tons already. They have more reviews. It's hard for us to make money there. That's why we need product depth to create meaningful change. And this is so important, and not many people are teaching it that way. We have to pick a value niche. So we want to find and sell later a value product. And a value product would be one where people say, I'm willing to spend more money on that product because I'm passionate about that. It's part of my hobby, of a sport that I do. Because it's relevant for the safety of my kids, I want to spend more money. Something like that, where people are passionate about. Coffee, for example, as well, would be a good example. The coffee niche. People love a good coffee. They are willing to pay more. They are willing to pay the coffee grinder for $50 instead of for $20 because it will guarantee them a better experience. We want to focus on value niches. That's extremely important. And also competition is obviously an important part that we will have to look at. And then later on, the last question will be, now we have made sure there is enough demand and we can stand out. But now it might be the case that, yeah, you stand out in a meaningful way, but you're not able to source that product for a reasonable price because what you have in mind is way too expensive. Nobody can realize that. So on the last step, we need to make sure we can source that product profitably so we have enough margin and return on invest that it's worth for us to sell that product. So let's go through it. Enough demand, yes. Product depth, yes. We need to make sure it's a value and passion niche, yes. And in that value passion niche, we focus on the higher price section because there will be more money, more higher margins. I'll show you an example later as well. We come up with a meaningful change or USP. Then we need to make sure that we can source the product for a competitive price. If you have done that, wow, you're already really far. And it's difficult. This is a difficult part, but many people give up because they don't find that product out there that it's good to sell. But it's definitely there. There are so many possibilities. In our course, I even show a video. There is a video that gives you specific ideas. It's really possible to nowadays still come up with great ideas. Now, how can I come up with a meaningful change? And first, we need to understand that people are buying products because they want a specific problem to be solved. And we need to make sure that with the product that we are bringing to the market, we are solving that problem in the best possible way. And in order to be able now to come up with meaningful change, we need to be able to understand that market to become an expert in that niche. And how do we do that? We can do that by talking to people who would use that product, like parents, for example, if it's a product for their kids. People who have actually bought and used this product already, who are tennis players, if you sell a tennis product, for example. Watch YouTube videos. There are great YouTube videos that compare existing products. They talk about why this product is bad and this product is good. You want to incorporate the negative and the positive aspects in your product and avoid the negative aspects. You can ask ChatGPT. You can read their great blog articles about which features are relevant, are good, are desired, and which are not. Compare existing products on the market. What do people like about the product? What do they dislike? And embed the positives in yours. Avoid the negative aspects. You can do that, obviously, you know that, by analyzing the reviews. Okay, now how to get ideas? That would be the next logical question that comes to mind. And let me talk about what we don't have to do. We don't have to be Leonardo da Vinci. You don't have to come up with a completely new idea. That's not necessary. you also shouldn't be a copycat and just pick a product that sells well, make a very similar one and sell the same one. No, it's not working nowadays. We need to use the product depth of the market that I've talked about before and that I'll show you an example later. We need to use the product depth to come up with a meaningful product that differentiates. This is what we have to do. Don't sell these weird gift boxes. It's just an example. Okay, how do we get ideas now? There are several ways. You could go to Alibaba, go to the product catalogs of the suppliers, go through them. Often the new ideas are first on Alibaba and only then on Amazon, so you could find something there. Go to other Amazon marketplaces, go to the German marketplace and see if there are, in the niches that you have found, if there are products that are not being sold yet in the US, for example. Go to trade shows. If you say you want to sell sleeping bags or outdoor products, go to the nearest, to the next trade show, see what's up to date, what is the new trend on the market. Connect to suppliers already. Maybe you find suppliers in the US, Mexico, China. There will be all kinds of people who are showing their products. Then I did that yesterday morning. I was having breakfast. I went to a product catalog and I found a cool product in that catalog that didn't exist on Amazon yet. Get products from popular brands in the outdoor niche or wherever you're selling. Go through what they are selling right now. Check if that exists on Amazon. Go to Google Pictures or use your own brain to find product ideas. Like walk around with open eyes. You will find product ideas all over the place. Okay, and then we want to make sure of a few things, and that is because I say a meaningful change. So we want that our product solves a real problem. Also, it's important that customers are aware that the problem you're solving is there and they care about it. And that's important later on, that you're able to present the problem you're solving. So this needs to be given as well. For example, your idea is to sell this board that you put on the fridge where you can take notes on. Then first of all, that's not a passion niche. People probably want the cheapest solution. So if your USP idea is, now I'll make an anti-scratch surface to that, then we need to ask ourselves, does that solve a real problem? Is that something people are aware of and wanting that and maybe willing to pay a few dollars more for that? Is that solving a real problem? Are customers caring about that this is an anti-scratch surface? I would say no. Nobody's going there and scratching or putting a knife on it. Like, that is not a realistic thing to happen to that product. So you have a USP, but it's of no use because nobody cares about it. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. And now when you come up with an USP, and you might ask yourself, okay, how can I make sure now that it's a useful USP? You come back here, talk to users, watch YouTube videos, make sure you understand what's relevant in that niche. And now I wanted to talk about, because I said earlier we want to focus on value niches. And in these value niches, we want to focus on that higher price segment right here. Why do we want to do that? We know that in value niches, there is a higher amount of people who are willing to pay a premium price for premium quality. We also have people who want to spend, who want to buy products in the lower price segment and in the mid price segment, but also a higher amount compared to other niches of people who are willing to spend more money because they care about a good quality product. There will be higher margins. This is where we are finding products over and over again that are selling extremely well. So this is what we want to go for. Okay, now we have this in mind, and now I'm going to show you how I'd approach that, and I'll talk about a few more things in a practical example. Alright guys, I've been to the gym quickly, my face might be all red, but it doesn't matter, we keep going. So earlier we said, in order to determine if a niche is a good niche to sell in, we need to make sure that there's enough demand, enough revenue being made, enough search volume. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. Okay, and we can do that by opening up Helium 10. And let's go over here. We are using Helium 10 for not only product research, but also later on to optimize our listing. And we have different tools that help us later on to run a successful Amazon business. We have analytic tools, operation tools. It's a must-have, in my opinion, for every Amazon seller. So if you don't have it yet, make sure you get it in the video description. There will be a link, a discount link, and also it supports the channel. So it would be great if you get it from here. Okay, now we want to determine, is there enough demand for our niche? We want to do that by typing in that there should be at least 3,000 searches for the main keyword in that niche. And with main keyword, I don't mean, for example, a short tail keyword, we would say, like backpack. I mean long tail keywords that have a high buyer intent because they are more specific. For example, that would be then a laptop backpack for men. This would be more specific. So for our long tail keywords, we want to have at least 3,000 searches per month. And then we want to see that the top sellers are making on average at least $10,000 per month. I think that is when we can say it's a niche we want to sell in. If the niche is too small, then it takes too long to get our investment back. So this is why we want to look for the top sellers making at least 10,000 per month. And here you can see it's the estimated average revenue from the previous 30 days for the top products. So this is what we want to see. Also, when it comes to the price, I haven't mentioned that yet. We want to have a sales price of at least 30, and then depending on your budget up to $150 or $200. If we are too low here, then the PPC costs and the costs for storing and shipping the products will be too high, and then the margins will be low. So ideally we are selling products in the range, ideally I would say $50 to $100. Then you can also use all these filter settings here. I've made several videos about that, so you can check them out. You could also now say, I want to find niches where the competition isn't that strong yet. For example, where the review count is low among the top sellers or the review rating is bad. But we don't want that because we are going to develop a unique offer that doesn't exist yet with a meaningful USP. And then the competition doesn't really matter because we are standing out with our product, and then we don't care if we have other good competitors or not. Also, because I'm confident in the marketing strategies, the way we are setting up our listing, the way we do PPC is superior to how many or most other people do it out there. That's why I don't care about that right now. You can obviously try that out. So these are the settings we want to go for right now. Then we hit search, and there with these filter settings, we get thousands of results. Helium 10 is always showing just 200 plus keywords. So when you're more specific, you'll have less results. So I don't want to analyze these niches right now, but you can go through them now. You can obviously also pick a niche that you're interested in, a category here. So you could say you want to see results only in the garden niche, something like that. Okay, we can open one up. So I show you how I analyze demand on Amazon. These are shoes. I don't want to look at shoes. So let's pick a niche. Let's say we are saying we want to look into, this is a hair straightener for women. So you can click on open up on Amazon. Then you can see the result page right here. We're not focusing on product depth or anything, just the demand aspect. So we are clicking up here on our Chrome extension of Helium 10. We open up the X-ray tool, and then we see here a nice overview of data that is relevant for us. So first of all, we can see there is enough demand for that main keyword. So more than 3,000 searches per month. And also this is where I wanted to go. We want to see that there are more than $200,000 being made per month. So this is regarding demand, a good enough niche. We can also check out the revenue here. When you click on it, it filters the results and shows you the top sellers on top. So we can also see that more than 5 sellers here, plenty of sellers are making more than 10K. Okay, now this is already check demand. So we have already made sure that we have enough demand, and now it's time to check the other aspect. Do we have a chance to get market share? And now I wanted to talk about the concept of the product depth, because that's important to understand. All right, and let's look at these two niches with the focus on product depth. So I think it becomes quite clear what I mean with product depth when we look at the niche of portable baby crib. Here we can see when I scroll through that the products differ in material. Here we have a wooden solution and solutions with cotton materials, with different materials, with different functionalities. Here we have toys for the kids. Here there's additional things where you can change the diapers probably. You have wheels on it. You can put the product next to the bed so the kid can sleep next to you. And we have different forms that make sense for different use cases. So here there is a certain product depth represented in all of these useful adaptations or variations of the product. So this is a good sign. This is what we want to see. Also a good sign is when we see a market depth, and by that I mean a price difference between the cheapest and the most expensive product. So here we have 60 and it goes all the way up to 200. I think I've seen it here, 200. Exactly. We can see, and we know obviously parents would like to have a proper product for their kids. This is definitely a value niche. And now when we compare the garlic press niche to that, first of all, it's mostly cheap products around, below $20. And then they don't really differentiate. It's mostly stainless steel. They come in different shapes, but they basically all do the same. And it's going to be really hard to stand out here. So this is not really the case that we have product depth here, but here we have that aspect covered in that niche. If you're now applying what we have talked about in the last couple of minutes, then you're going to be better than most of the other sellers who are starting out with Amazon FBA. Now the last step would be to find a supplier who can produce your product for a competitive price, and then you're good to go. I'm going to cover that in the upcoming section. Before we do that, I wanted to say that product research and product development is hard. It's not easy. There are people, because they don't have a proper approach, they give up along the way because they don't find anything. But this is a sign for me that it's worth doing it. When many people give up, I go the extra mile and I will find the product that is worth selling. And we are actually in our coaching program managing to do that. So if you want to get support that you find a profitable product quickly, make sure to get on a call with me. And now we are continuing with how you can now find suppliers for your product idea. For most product categories, China will still be the best country to source from, as they'll offer you the most competitive prices. I'll show you how you can source from China in just a second. If you want to find suppliers, though, in the US or in Mexico, then I can suggest you a few things that I have also mentioned before. You can either go to relevant trade shows of your niche. If you want to sell, for example, fishing rods, then you want to go to the soonest outdoor trade show and connect. And you can do that with suppliers and check out what's trending on the market. You can also go to the websites of these trade shows, and then you'll see on the website all exhibitors, and then you can reach out to them as well. Then you don't have to go there, and you'll ask them if they are interested in working with you, in cooperating and doing a private label product for you. And besides that, I can recommend you a great website that connects suppliers and sellers in the US and in Canada, and that website is called thomas.net. You can check that out. Otherwise, you can also just Google or obviously search with ChatGPT for suppliers that are willing to do private label products for you in the US or in Canada. Those are valid options as well. But as I said, China will usually be the cheapest and best option for you for most product categories. And the go-to platform to find suppliers in China is Alibaba. And I'm going to show you right now on the screen how you can reach out to manufacturers here on Alibaba. And Alibaba works just like Amazon. You have a search bar up here in which you can type in the product you're looking for, the main keyword. You can also drop an image here. So you can do an image search, which works really well. If you are not sure how to search for the product, you can try that out. Then here you have filter settings. You can search for suppliers that have the verified badge. You can search for suppliers in different countries, etc. I'm not really using that, so you can just go through the search results and see if you find a product that is similar to the one that you want to sell. Well, I said we want to develop our unique product, then you most likely won't find exactly the product you're looking for, but then you search for a product that is similar, that maybe uses similar materials, and then you can reach out to the respective suppliers. Let's say we are interested in selling a baby rocking chair like this one, maybe with adaptations, it doesn't matter. Then we just reach out to them and discuss with them if they can do it, what will be the MOQ, what is the size of the product packaging, etc. So you have to clarify all the relevant details also to be able to get a proper revenue calculation later on. And you can contact the supplier right here, and then you can send them a message. Introduce yourself, explain him what you have in mind, and then you discuss the details. You'll often see relevant products. Now in that case it's not relevant, but often you find relevant products right here, similar products from other companies. You'll find more product details down below here, and also the reviews from other sellers that have worked with them. And here more images, etc. If you're interested in seeing what else they offer, maybe to get inspiration as well for other products, then you can see here their product catalog, and then see that I have neck cushions as well, headband, baby feeding accessories, mummy bags. So you can go through their catalog and see what they have in store. Okay, that's basically it's pretty simple. I suggest you to reach out to 5 to 10 suppliers, not more than 10 because then it will be too much work to talk with everyone, but also not too few because you want to get also samples later on from 3 to 4 suppliers to compare them, to negotiate the prices and to develop the quality of your product. Okay, that's also an important step to later on get samples and further develop the product. Okay, that's basically it. And at this point, you will want to do your first revenue calculation. By now, you know how much the product will cost. So we can see right now how much profit we will make when we sell that product. And we can use, for that job, we can use the Amazon revenue calculator. I'll show you how it works. And I also share some concerns with that tool along the way. So first of all, you can Google for Amazon revenue calculator. And then here you find it in the first search results. Then you can log in or continue as a guest. That doesn't really matter. And then you pick a product, and you should pick now a product that is closest to the product that you are going to sell, because Amazon will now use the data from that product, the storing fees, the fees to send the product out by Amazon, etc. It will draw these details and will show it now in the revenue calculator. So that's why you want to pick a product that is closest to the one that you're going to sell. Then you can copy the ASIN. It's here in the link, or if you have Helium 10 installed, you can just copy it here as well. And then you want to paste it here, hit search, and select this product here. Okay, now Amazon has, as I said, drawn or has taken these fees from that product. So you have the fixed closing fee, the referral fee, the fulfillment cost, storage costs is all already considered. And down here you will see that as of now, and those are right now only the Amazon fees included, you'll have a net margin of 32%. Obviously we have to now include the shipping costs as well. Probably for that product it's like 50 cents to $1. You can find that out, the shipping costs, by either asking freight forwarders or getting a shipping estimate from Amazon Global Logistics. This is how you can find out your shipping costs. So you type that in, then the costs of goods sold, you know that from your manufacturer. Let's say you can purchase these pillows for 80 cents. And then now we'll see that you have a net margin of 25%, but there will be other fees, and there's only one field in which you can summarize all these other fees that there are, which I think is not precise enough. That's why I recommend to use a proper revenue calculator. We have one in our program. If you want that I make a video about a proper revenue calculation, I think it's more advanced. That's why I don't want to have it in this beginner video. You please subscribe and leave a comment below in the comment section, and once I have 10 comments that ask me to do a video about the revenue calculation, I will do that. So here, for example, we need to keep in mind that in the US, for example, we have a yearly custom bond, custom tariffs, custom duties that you have to pay when you import your products. You'll have your business bank account fees, you have PPC costs, you have a return rate usually between 5 and 8%. All these things need to be considered in a proper revenue calculation so you can have a real overview of your expenses and your real net profit. This is something also nobody talks about on YouTube, for example, when they do their revenue calculations. They never talk about the custom fees, the custom duties, etc. It's something that we have to keep in mind. So if you want that I make a dedicated video about that, please write it down in the comments. Now we're moving on to the part in which we talk about importing our products. Alright, when it comes to importing your products, there is one way that is superior to the others, and that is working with Amazon Global Logistics. It's by far, in my opinion, the best way to bring your products to the US or to Europe. It's usually 30 to 50% cheaper compared to working with freight forwarders. Now, I know that some people are not suggesting Amazon Global Logistics, but I feel their experience is from 2-3 years ago when the program was still new and there were some troubles in the beginning, but that has been solved. Over the last 2 years, I have made dozens of imports, me and my clients, and for all of us, it works really smoothly, and you save, as I said, quite a bit of money. Now, what you have to know when you work with Amazon Global Logistics is that the products are being delivered right away to the Amazon warehouse. So if you do FBA and you want to see the products, or you want to do something to the products in the US, for example, then you shouldn't use Amazon Global Logistics because of the fact that they are being brought to the Amazon warehouse. Then you have to work with a freight forwarder who delivers them to your home. Another thing to keep in mind is when you sell bulky products, and let's say because you got the cheapest price for purchasing the products for a MOQ of 2,000, so you have bought 2,000 pieces, then you don't want to send all of these 2,000 bulky products to the Amazon warehouse because the storage fee would be too high in that case. But there's a simple fix. You just talk to your supplier and ask your supplier if you can store the products in their warehouse. And then you ship every 4 or 5 weeks. You're going to import 500 products and then you're fine. Then you're making the most out of Amazon Global Logistics, and it's by far the best way that I can recommend. Very easy as well. I have 2 separate videos on my channel about Amazon Global Logistics. One that explains the advantages. The other one is a practical video that shows you how you can sign up and how you can get your first shipment on the way. And that's already it about importing. That's pretty straightforward, but this is the best tip out there. Okay, and now I want to talk about Amazon PPC. I know for beginners, Amazon PPC can be a scary place. It can be a scary task to tackle. But actually, once you understand how PPC works, it's pretty simple. And what you have to understand right now, I would love for you to write that down as well, is Amazon PPC. First of all, the task of Amazon PPC is only to give us visibility. It's not responsible for customers to click on our product. It's not responsible for converting the customers to actually purchase our product. So we have to understand that everything on Amazon is interconnected. PPC gives us visibility, but in order for Amazon to work, we need a proper offer. So we need a good product, we need maybe to have variations, we need to have proper amount and quality of reviews, we need to embed the correct keywords in the right places in the listing, we have to describe the pain points of the customer in our listing perfectly. More about that in the upcoming section. We have to have a proper title, show our USP, a perfect marketing, a video, A+ content, etc. And when everything is set up and works like a smooth clockwork, then Amazon PPC is an accelerator that makes us even more money. But if you have a bad offer, if your listing is bad, if you saved money on product images, you're not going to win on Amazon anymore. This is what we have to understand. If you say, oh, I'm getting Fiverr images for $500, you're not going to win. Then you can have a nice product, you can have good PPC, you're not converting enough. And when you'll see that later, when your conversion rate, when your click-through rate is low, you're also not going to have profitable PPC. You need to understand that everything is interconnected. That's so important. We need to be professional all along the way, from step A to step Z. And when you make sure of that, then you're going to make money with Amazon FBA. That's very crucial to understand. And that's what we are doing. We're striving for excellence in our coaching program. That's why we are successful. Don't save on stupid things like the Amazon, the images, etc. That's there to know. Now I'm going to show you a presentation how Amazon PPC works, so you understand that better. Then our strategy. Our strategy is a little bit more aggressive, but it definitely works to get you as fast as possible to page number 1 and then get those sales in. So let's start with the presentation. Alright, and let's begin with the part in which we want to understand better how PPC works. In order to do that, I want to show how organic ranking works, and then after that I'll show you how PPC ranking works. First of all, our ultimate goal on Amazon is to rank organically up here on page 1 of the search results in the top positions. That's what we want to do. In the beginning, when we start to sell, we are usually starting out on the last page of Amazon, or in the first days you're not even being seen yet. So let's say you're on page 7 or 8 in the beginning. Nobody ever in the history of humankind went to page 7 or 8 to buy a product. So how can you get sales in? You obviously need PPC for that. So pay per click. Actually, the first page on Amazon, on the first page, 50% of the spots are advertising spaces. So people who are paying per click to get their product seen. Now there is one thing already to note. Even though later on when you are ranking well organically, you never ever want to stop PPC, because you will still get more sales in with these PPC spots that are usually above the first organic spots. So if your competitors do have PPC and you don't have it, even though you're organically doing well, then they will make more sales. Because Amazon tracks everything and creates a sales history for your product to check how relevant it is for the customers who search for your keyword, they will see, hey, the other guy is making more sales, he has more clicks, then he will position the other product in front of your product organically. You will slowly lose organic spots, so organic positioning. That's why you have to make sure to always run PPC. Now PPC gives you the opportunity to be shown up here. And now I want to tell you a little bit with the upcoming slides how organic ranking works now by using PPC. So let's say we want to sell the product, a drinking bottle, 1 liter would be our long tail keyword that we want to make our sales for. And now when we are launching our product, then we are ranking here, let's say on page 8. And you have to understand that you rank differently for different keywords. So you might rank for drinking bottle 1 liter, you might be on rank 120. But drinking bottle, there's more competition, there are more products in general, so you're ranking lower, and here you're ranking drinking bottle with straw, you're ranking somewhere else. Doesn't matter, you're really far behind. So what we need to do now is, because organically there's not our product anywhere to be seen, that's why we need PPC with our product being shown up here to have the chance to make sales, to get a sales history, to build a sales history. Talk more about it soon, okay? And then we'll make the first sale, and that means, okay, Amazon starts to understand the relevance of our product, and we are getting, let's say, energy. You can say energy for each sale, okay? And then the energy means we are climbing organically, okay? And then when the keywords are connected, because drinking bottle 1 liter and only drinking bottle or drinking bottle with straw, they are connected and Amazon understands that, we also get energy and better ranking for our other keywords. And that is how we build organic ranking. Let's say now we make a sale because of our PPC campaigns for drinking bottle, we get energy, we are climbing up the ladder, now we made a sale here, our rank is getting better and better. And here, the higher our conversion rate, the higher our organic ranking. That's right. Better sales history. Okay, so this is how that works. And now how does PPC ranking work? We have to understand that. The question is the highest bid automatically getting the top position on PPC? The answer is no. Let's say he's bidding 73 cents, he's 99. This guy is not necessarily getting that best spot. And that depends on the sales history. And also it depends on the click-through rate, on the conversion rate, on the amount of times your product has been put to the buy box. Because Amazon wants to make as much money as possible and have happy clients, so find the most suitable product as fast as possible. And that's why not only the bid counts, but also the fact how much money could Amazon make from your sale. And that is not only the deciding factor, is not only the bid, but also the amount of conversions you had, for example, because you will pay for each click. We'll talk about that in a second. That might have been a little complicated, but with the upcoming example, you will understand it. Okay, so we have to keep in mind not only the bid, the height of the bid counts, but also the click-through rate, conversion rate, and buy box. Let's do an example so you can understand it better. So let's say we want to rank for drinking bottle 1 liter for that PPC spot. So everybody wants to rank there. And then we have our bids for our PPC campaign. And let's say all of these products get 100 impressions to start with. And from these 100 impressions that we have because of the PPC campaigns, this one gets 5 clicks, product B gets 1 click, and our product gets 10 clicks. Okay? So we have a click-through rate that is different between the products. Our click-through rate is at 10%, while this guy has only a click-through rate of 1%. Now, and as I said, Amazon wants to have happy clients and to find the most relevant product for the customers. Amazon already understands through the click-through rate that our product is more relevant. And Amazon also wants to make more money. And we will see how that plays into account right now. So now we have different bids. This product B is bidding $1. We are bidding only 50 cents. So who do you think is getting the best PPC spot? It's not product B with the highest bid, it's us. First of all, because we are showing we are most relevant for the customers because we have that high click-through rate, and also we are making Amazon the most amount of money. And with our $5 we have spent, it doesn't mean that we are now worse off, because the likelihood that we have converted more customers as well, so our conversion rate is better as well, is much higher because we have had way more clicks on our product. And now again, when we have an appealing whole product listing with the images, with the way we describe our product, with the product itself, we will also convert more. And then we are going to win the race. And that was a quick overview of how Amazon PPC works. So we have to keep in mind that not only the bids matter, but also the conversion rate, the click-through rate. And then that shows and that indicates for Amazon how relevant our product is. Then we get, with a good click-through and conversion rate, we get better PPC positions, we'll make more sales, we'll come up organically. And to ensure now that we get up there as fast as possible, to use the honeymoon phase also in the beginning, we are having a more aggressive PPC strategy that costs us a little bit more in the beginning. We are aware of that though. The first month is not there to make your 20-25% margin. The first month is there to get your organic ranking and then make long-term. It's a long-term strategy. It's a long-term game, Amazon. And then we are going to make more money later on. So we are investing a bit more in PPC in the beginning. And we are profiting from that in the long run, in the midterm even. After 2-3 weeks, we will already be profitable with that strategy because we are, and the setup of Amazon PPC is important, but the key part to being profitable is the optimization later on, which we will do after 2 weeks. So we are starting with a setup phase. The goal is to get first sales, and we are starting out with an automatic campaign that will consist of 50% of the budget. We have an automatic campaign because we want to explore. We want Amazon to give the chance to explore keywords that work. Later on, we will use the keywords that are working well in our exact match campaigns. By the way, this is an overview. I'll make a more advanced video about that, or you can check out the existing videos already to understand that better. But we have these setup campaigns to explore keywords. We have broad match types, we have automatic campaigns, and everything that works, we're transferring later on to our exact match campaigns to increase our profitability. But in the beginning, our strategy that has proven to work out really well is 50% of the budget in the automatic campaigns. Your budget now shouldn't be too low. Make it at least $40 or $50 per day only for that automatic campaign. So that's the first campaign you want to set up. In the other video, I'll show you, there's like a big PPC video. I'll show you how to exactly set that up. You'll find it on the channel as well. Then the next campaign we want is a broad match campaign. Here we want to distribute 25% of our budget in the broad match campaign. Okay, so that would be now if you spend, let's say, $50 per day on the automatic campaign, $25 on the broad match campaign. In the broad match campaign, you are going to use your maximum 10 main keywords to target in that broad match campaign. If you have more than that, you want to have 2 broad match campaigns, because when you have too many keywords in one campaign, the keywords are not being targeted properly. So you're setting up a broad match campaign. This one is also there to explore more keyword options. We don't want to have exact match campaigns. Now, if this is the first video that you hear about Amazon PPC, make sure to check out the other videos. They are going more in depth about how that works and why we are doing that approach. And the other one, and how to find that keywords as well. There are also other videos that explain that. And then our next aspect is to set up the async targeting campaign, also 25% of the budget. And then we let it run for 1 and 2 weeks, and then we are going over to phase 2. And in phase 2, we are going to adjust bids. That means we are increasing bids on targets when the ACoS is lower than our margin. So let's say our margin is at 30% and we have an ACoS of 15%. That means we are making quite some money on having PPC on that specific keyword. So we want to increase the amount of money. We want to increase the bids on that keyword so it makes more money for us. And then we will also have keywords that cost us money. So in that case, when the ACoS is higher than the margin, so higher than 30%, let's say it's at 40%, we want to decrease the bids on those keywords. We always want to increase or decrease by around 10 to 15%, unless your product has the keyword has an ACoS of 100 or 150. Then we want to decrease the bids by 30 to 40%, so we're not wasting too much money here. We want to be careful with negative targeting. If you put a keyword that has not performed well in the first time or negative, even though it kind of describes your product, then you might make a fatal mistake because Amazon then thinks, oh, it's not relevant. Okay, then we are not pushing the other related keywords. Okay, so we have to be careful with negative targeting. We only do that once we have enough data, and when the keywords that were being targeted, for example, in the automatic campaign, when those keywords are not working at all, so the ACOS is plus 100, and they're not at all describing our product, then we can at some point put it on negative. Yeah, and then once we have done that, we want to let the PPC campaigns run for another 2 weeks. And then by then, after these 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have enough data to see which keywords are performing really well for us. And then we want to create another campaign, and that is our exact match campaign. So all our overperformers, then we are going to put them in our exact match campaigns. And then here we can target them more specifically, and that will help us to make our PPC setup even more profitable. In that case, when you set up a new exact match campaign, then you are going to decrease now at this point, you're going to decrease the budget that you have in the automatic campaign by 25%, and then you are going to use that for the exact match campaign. And you keep optimizing from then on every 2 weeks by doing bid adjustment, putting keywords on negative, etc. Now, I think this requires a little bit more of advanced knowledge, so I can recommend you to watch the other videos so you can understand that better. But this is the principle of how it goes. All right, and I said that we are going to be aggressive with our strategy so we are able to rank faster. And the aggressiveness consists of 2 factors, and that is that we have a higher budget. So Amazon can experiment more, we'll get data faster, be able to optimize faster, and then get a faster, better organic ranking. So in order to achieve that, we need a higher budget. We have that. And also our bidding strategy is more aggressive. So now when you set up your PPC campaigns, then Amazon always suggests a bid range. So it says usually people are bidding between 80 cents and $1.20. And we are more aggressive with our strategy. So we want to bid now 10% more than the highest there. So 10% more than $1.20. We want to bid $1.31. And that makes sure, or that helps us get that first PPC spot. And then later on, because we have a good setup with our higher conversion rate, click-through rate, we are making sure to consistently get those high PPC spots. And the higher bids are supporting us in that mission to get better PPC spots. And because of that, better organic ranking. Okay. That's enough already, I think, about PPC for now, for the beginning. I think it's necessary that you understand it better. As I said, I have the other videos about that as well. And now we are jumping to the next section, and we are going to talk about how you can get the best possible marketing for your product. As indicated earlier, marketing is another success pillar. It's a gear in our clockwork that needs to run smoothly in order for us to make the most out of our product. I'm going to talk about this step in this presentation. We are using a strategy that really boosts the sales by up to 35%. I think there is a ton of potential when we are looking at the US market when it comes to out-marketing our competitors. I don't think that many people are doing a good job of that. So if you stick to what I'm telling you here, then you'll have an advantage here as well. First of all, what I wanted to mention is it's important that you work out the pain points of your product. Now, when you are at the part where developing your product, you are becoming, and you should become, an expert in your space. You should, if you're not already, be an expert in that space. You should talk to customers, read blog articles, watch YouTube videos, etc. So you understand that whole niche and know why people are buying which products. And based on that, you have done product development, as we talked about. Now you need to work out the pain points. We'll look at an example in a second of a bicycle seat, and they have done a perfect job in working out the pain points. Now that product is working super well. It's not that long on the market. It's super well, first of all, because they have done a beautiful job in marketing. By that I mean the main image and the images and the video and the A+ content, but also in the way they are presenting the pain points of that specific product. We'll take a look at that in a second. Well, first of all, I would like to encourage you to check out, for example, life vests for kids, bicycle lock. Look at the main images there. See how freaking boring they are. And now when you come in with a main image like that, then you are definitely increasing your sales by so much because you are standing out. First of all, why are these main images working so well? They have an eye catcher here. They have this orange color here. They have this blue base here. Here they have, that's from the German market, obviously. They have this badge. So first of all, that is a great thing. You want to catch the attention of the customer among all the other competing products. So that is very important and you can do that with with a color option here. And now those all are indicating things that are relevant to the product. Here it says extremely sturdy. Here there is a lock on it, so that says, because you don't want to lose your bike to any guy who wants to steal it. So this lock indicates that it's extremely strong and nobody will have an easy time stealing your bicycle. Here that's a pillow, and it says here it has been developed by professionals. So we are now indicating already with that main image that our product is the best option here. Now, it might be the case that sometimes those main images are not getting accepted because you'll have additional things on it. That's why it's important to have a few options when it comes to the main images. So you have a standard option, but also this. And if you get this image accepted by Amazon and you have a good offer, then you will be one of the top selling guys out there. You will make a ton of money. That's why I definitely recommend that. And now, I've mentioned that earlier. People sometimes they spend $700 on Fiverr images. That's stupid in my opinion. Get a little bit more money together. I'll recommend AMZOneStep. I'll talk about them in a second. A little bit more money. Imagine you have, because of that, 35% more sales, and that is my experience. 100%. It's so important. And then let's say you, on average, for one product, you make 10K. So 10K is easier to calculate. Now we have 35% more. Let's say now you make 13K, and on that 3K that you make more, your margin is 20%, then you have $600 more per month. So if you now spend, compared to 2,700, already after 4 months, you're making more money than you would have with worse pictures. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Additionally, you not only have that, but you'll have a better organic ranking, you make more sales, etc. It's a chain effect. It has long-term consequences, positive consequences for your product. In my opinion, stupid to not spend that money, to not invest that. So I work with AMZOneStep. I've worked out a deal with them. If you get from the link below the video, if you work with them through that link, so they know that you come through my YouTube channel, you get free main images, and the deal is super amazing. You paid $2,700. In Germany, I paid for the same package that I'll talk about in a second. I paid 5,000 euro, so that's about $5,000. So this is half the price. You get your A+ content, you get your main image plus variations of the main image, then your 6 other images. You get a product video, which is really cheap for that price, the video as well, and you get your ad video as well. So it's a really great package, and it saves you a ton of money if you work with them through my link. And in general, investing a little bit more money, as I said, is definitely worth it. And when you embed videos, so you want to prepare your videos as well and your images. Before you call them, you want to know, because you'll be the expert in that niche, you want to know what are my pain points, why is my product the best product for a certain part of my target audience. You want to emphasize that and then discuss that with AMZOneStep, with the team of AMZOneStep. What do you want to have, what message you want to transport in your images. We'll talk about that in a second. If you embed a video, I've just here a cool example what you can do in videos. You want to show you that your product really works, sometimes in extreme examples. So if you are selling a water filter, then you want to have really dirty water up in the top and then you have really clean water coming out. Or if your USP is that you can set up your tent quick because it has a unique system quickly, then you want to show that in the video. So you have some person setting up the tent so people know how it works. You show a timer and you actually prove them that it works in 3 minutes. So you want to show that your product works in those videos. Obviously, it's important to embed customer testimonials, and you can do that in a video or in images down in the reviews. And that is also an important part of marketing. And then marketing obviously is creating the bullet points and your title. And in your bullet points, you also want to emphasize each of the reasons why your product is the best choice. And now let's look at one example that I wanted to show you. Let's look at the niche of bicycle seats and look at these options here. They are not as appealing as the ones that I've shown you in the presentation. When we look at those, way more appealing. Now we scroll down a little bit And let's keep that in mind. The price here is $15, $18, $19, $17, $25. And now this is our whole strategy. Yes, you can sell those for that cheap price, but here competition is too high. We don't want to compete with those guys. We want to have the premium option. And one guy who has done that already is that Velmia brand here. They have done exactly what I am teaching. They have this eye-catching element. They are writing here that people can see it. A memory foam technology. This is already a pain point. Bicycle seats might be uncomfortable. When you go every day to work, you don't want that your butt hurts every day. That is already an indication why I would buy that product. It shows me on the main image, hey, here your butt doesn't hurt. And we can see that the price here is almost $40. So that's twice as high as the competing products, a similar products, $16. They are charging $38 and they are selling 1,000, more than 1,000 per month. So they are doing a phenomenal job, and their product is not much different, right? They have a whole great offer. That's why I said, don't want to talk about products, their whole offer. Here they have variations for city bikes, mountain bikes, trekking bikes. And now when I look at the title, I don't think that the title is perfect, but here in these bullet points, they are addressing the main aspects why people should buy the product. Functional air ventilation, waterproof. These are the pain points that they are addressing. Sometimes if it's not 100% waterproof, you'll have your ass being wet. So you don't want that. And they are explaining that perfectly also and showing that perfectly in their images. So here they are addressing the softness, the comfortable aspect of bicycle seats. No soreness, no pressure points. This is what you have to work out when you develop your marketing. What is relevant for my customers? And then you need to transport that in the images. You'll not have health issues. That's also a smart move to show that or indicate here that with other products you might have trouble with your spine, not with our products, because we have a 3-zone concept. They have made that up probably. It's just a normal bicycle seat, but they are on the spot here with their marketing. Air ventilation being shown. Perfect. This is a nice example of how to do marketing. So this is what I want you to do. Now, AMZOneStep will consult you and help you to get the best possible images. So if you want to work with them, which I can really highly recommend, get the images with them through the link in the video description. That's all I have for you in this video about marketing. There's obviously more to it, but stay tuned for what's coming up on the channel. There will be more information about that. And now in the last module, I want to talk about how we can now get a good start with your product and how to scale your product and make it a skyrocketing success. That's what's coming up next. Let's talk about what we have to do after launch to make our product as successful as possible and what we have to do to scale our product. Now, before we are doing anything, before you are publishing your product, before you're starting to sell, you want to make sure that your listing page is perfect, that all the images are in place, all your pain points are addressed, the title is perfect, you have embedded the keywords in the title, in your bullet points. Make sure and double check if that is all set up perfectly. Alright, and let's talk about what exactly we have to do after launch so our product can get the success it deserves and what we have to do in order to scale and get the most possible sales from our product. First of all, before you're starting to sell, double check your listing if everything is set up properly. If the title is fine, if the bullet points are fine and all your images. So just double check that and then we can start to sell. And what we want to do at first is to get to 20 reviews as soon as possible because that is a point where we see increased sales because now people start to trust our product more. Now you could, in theory, get reviews from people you know, but it's not TOS conform, so I'm not officially suggesting that. If you do that, make sure that they are not living in that they don't have the same postal code, don't have your surname, and so they are not family, and that you're not really connected to them on social media, on Facebook or something. So ask, if you have a group, then ask someone in a group, some people that are not related to you, otherwise Amazon might find that out and then this can end badly. So I don't officially recommend it, but on the other hand, it is a good boost in the beginning if we get reviews in quickly. So it's like something you have to consider if you want to take risks as a business owner. Other than that, what we can do is have a product inlay. So next to the manual and the flyer, we can have a product inlay and ask the customer to leave a review. We're not allowed to ask them to leave a 5-star review, but we can ask for a review. We should definitely do that. Besides that, we should use the Helium 10 follow-up email automation tool. So every customer who has purchased one of your products gets an email from Helium 10 asking for a review. We should use that. Then also you want to have in general a good customer service. Let's say a customer has a faulty product and he calls you or sends you an email, and then you send him a replacement product without like asking too many questions, just so they have a good customer experience. They will leave you a good review. And especially even better is that they are not leaving you because they had a faulty product, a bad review, but you converted that into a good review. That's extremely important overall, a good customer experience. Then I suggest you to be careful with the Amazon Vine program. You can do it when your product is pretty simple and you want to get reviews quickly, but I have seen for really weird reasons and not just justified reasons that these Vine guys are leaving bad reviews. And when you're starting, you have put so much effort now in setting up your product, and now you're trusting these weird Amazon Vine guys to leave you a review, and they are, in my opinion, famous for just unjustified bad reviews. Then you're fucking up your start basically, and I don't recommend that. So I would not work with Amazon Vine, but some people do it, so it's up to you as well and your willingness to take risks. And as I mentioned, create a good customer experience. So sometimes it's nice to have a little inexpensive gift within your product package. So the whole unpacking your product will be a good experience for the customer. And then they are more likely to leave a review because they are positively surprised. Something that you haven't promoted, a sticker or something that can have great benefits. Then what we want to do in our strategy to launch as successful as possible is start 20% below your targeted price. The first month is not here to make money, so we want to start below that. We don't have reviews yet, so we want to give them reasons to purchase our product. That's why we start lower and increase slowly the sales price until in circa or around week 3, we are reaching our targeted sales price. Then I also start with a coupon code with 10%. Then you get this green badge. This is also something that helps you convert more. Obviously, you know that we want to go aggressive with our PPC strategy. We'll have a higher budget and aggressive bids, as I have explained earlier. Once you're selling for 1 or 2 weeks and your product gets established on the market, then you can reach out to YouTube channels, to websites that compare products. Also, you can create your own content. The idea is to get as much visibility as possible and as much traffic as possible from outside of Amazon to your Amazon product page, because that helps you boost your ranking drastically. And then what I wanted to mention as well is focus on making one product work. Like if one product is working like mediocre and you think, okay, I'll just move on to the next one. This one makes me 8 to 10K. That's fine. You're not using the full potential of the product yet. You have done so much effort. You don't want to rush to the next product. You want to focus on producing videos for YouTube or Instagram, writing to YouTube channels, to influencers, to go get on these comparing websites. There's so much we can do in order to scale and make more out of our product that I suggest you to focus on making one product a real success and then moving on to the next one and creating a brand in the space. That's what I suggest. Make your first 10K in sales. Make your first 100K in sales. That's what I want to see. Write it down in the comments when you have managed that. I really hope this video can be part of your success story. I'll make a second part soon. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.